Every day you do things that seem absolutely harmless to you, but for your cat, they are a true betrayal and insult. Cats are incredibly sensitive, and what you consider care or love may be perceived by them as a violation of personal boundaries or disrespect. Today, we will look at 15 everyday actions that seriously hurt a cat's feelings, from rearranging furniture to the wrong way of picking them up. First, when you look at a cat without blinking. A direct, unblinking stare into a cat's eyes is one of the rudest gestures you can make in the feline world. What means attention and interest to humans is perceived by a cat as an open threat and a challenge to conflict. In nature, predators stare into the eyes of their prey before an attack, locking them with their gaze. Two hostile cats stare into each other's eyes before a fight, and the one who looks away first admits defeat. When you stand over a cat and stare intently at it, especially from above, it feels cornered and intimidated. Its pupils dilate, ears flatten, and the body tenses. These are signs of stress. The cat doesn't understand that you are simply admiring it or trying to establish contact. It thinks you are aggressive and preparing to attack. This is especially painful for shy or anxious cats who perceive a direct gaze as unbearable pressure. If you want to show a cat love, look at it and blink slowly. This is the feline equivalent of a smile and an admission that you are not a threat. Second, when you throw away their favorite box. To you, it's a torn, dirty cardboard box that takes up space and ruins the interior. For a cat, it is a shelter, a fortress, a safety territory that it has settled in and marked with its scent. When you throw away a box where a cat has spent its days, you aren't just removing trash. You are destroying its personal space without warning and without its consent. The cat has invested emotional resources into this box, slept there, played, and felt protected. The scent of its glands on the cardboard made the box part of its territory. And suddenly, it's gone. The cat comes to the usual spot and finds a void. It doesn't understand the concept of cleaning or replacement. For the cat, it is a loss. It will look for the box, sniff the place where it stood, meow, and look confused. This causes stress and a sense of instability. You have shown that its space can disappear at any moment without its control. If you need to get rid of a box, give the cat time to adapt. Place a new box nearby. Wait until the cat masters it and only then remove the old one. Cats perceive sudden changes in the environment as a threat to stability. Third, when you kiss the cat on the face. A kiss is a human way to express love. But for a cat, your face approaching close to its muzzle, lips touching its nose or forehead, and breathing in its face is a violation of personal space and a potential threat. Cats do not kiss. They communicate through scent, rubbing, and licking, but not through direct mouth-to-face contact. When you lean in and kiss a cat, you are invading its intimate zone, the space about 15 to 20 centimeters around the head, which cats guard especially carefully. Your large face looms from above, blocking the view and depriving it of the chance to retreat. The cat freezes, flattens its ears, turns its head away, and tries to dodge. These are signs of discomfort that people often ignore. Your breath smells of food, coffee, or toothpaste, unfamiliar and often unpleasant scents for a sensitive feline nose. Lips are moist, warm, and have strange textures. For a cat, this isn't love. It's a strange and uncomfortable action that it tolerates because it loves you. If you want to express affection, let the cat rub against your face. That is its way of showing love. Fourth, when you move the food bowl. Cats are creatures of habit and territoriality. They create a mental map of their home, where every important object has a permanent place. The food bowl is one of the most important objects on this map. When you move the bowl even a meter to the side, you disrupt the predictability of the cat's world. It comes to the usual place expecting to find food and finds a void. This causes confusion, anxiety, and mild panic. The cat starts sniffing the area, meowing, and searching for the bowl. Even when it finds the bowl in the new place, it doesn't bring relief. Anxiety appears. What if the bowl moves again tomorrow? Stability and predictability are critical for a cat's sense of security. A constant feeding place is a ritual the cat relies on. Moreover, moving the bowl can change its attitude toward food. If the new location is near a noisy appliance, in a high-traffic hallway, or too close to the litter box, the cat may start eating less or refuse food altogether. If it is necessary to move the bowl, do it gradually, shifting it a few centimeters a day. Fifth, when you don't let the cat into the bedroom. A closed door to a room, especially the bedroom where you sleep, is perceived by the cat as rejection and isolation from the pack. Cats may be independent during the day, but at night, instinct forces them to seek proximity with members of their social group for safety. In nature, cats sleep near each other or close by to warn of approaching danger. When you close the door, leaving the cat outside, it perceives this as exclusion from the family. You are there behind the door in safety and warmth, while it is alone in the dark house. The cat doesn't understand the concept of personal space or hygiene. It only knows that it has been separated from you, and that is wrong. Therefore, it scratches the door, meows, sticks its paw under the crack, and tries to open the door. This is not manipulation or an attempt to make you angry. It is sincere suffering from separation. The cat feels abandoned and rejected. For particularly attached cats, a closed bedroom door can cause real separation anxiety, leading to destructive behavior, excessive vocalization, and refusal to eat. If the cat cannot sleep with you for medical reasons, leave the door ajar or provide an alternative, warm, cozy place nearby. Sixth, when you pick up a cat against its will. Cats are not dogs. They were not domesticated to serve humans and obey their desires. Cats live with us on the terms of a partnership, and forcibly picking them up violates this agreement. When you grab a cat that is going about its business and lift it up, you deprive it of control over its own body and movement. For a cat that relies on speed and mobility for survival, this is terror. Its paws do not touch the ground. It cannot run away. The height is scary. Your hands squeeze its body. The cat instinctively panics. It struggles, scratches, and bites, not out of malice, but out of fear and the desire to be free. Even if you hold it gently and with love, for the cat, it is a restriction of freedom. Many cats tolerate being held by people they love, but that doesn't mean they like it. They freeze, tense up, flatten their ears, and lash their tails, all signs of stress. It is especially painful when you are grabbed suddenly from behind or from above. This mimics a predator's attack. If you want to support your cat, crouch down to its level, call it, pet it, and let it approach you. Pick it up only if it is relaxed and agrees. Respecting a cat's bodily autonomy is critical for trust. Seventh, when you bring another animal into the house. For a cat, your home is its territory, which it has carefully marked, studied, and controlled. The sudden appearance of another cat, dog, or any animal is an invasion of its land without warning and without its consent. This is not a new friend. It is an invader claiming its resources, food, water, the owner's attention, and the best sleeping spots. The cat feels betrayed. You, its human, brought an enemy into its home. The scent of the stranger animal permeates the entire space, destroying the familiar aromas of safety. The cat cannot run away. This is its home, but it no longer feels safe. Stress manifests in different ways: aggression toward the newcomer, urine marking, refusal to eat, hiding, excessive grooming, and illnesses from a suppressed immune system. Even if over time the cats learn to coexist, the initial trauma remains. The cat remembers that its territory can be violated at any moment. This is especially cruel for single cats that have lived alone for years and considered the entire space their own. A proper introduction of animals takes weeks of gradual adaptation, but many owners simply push them together, worsening the trauma. Eighth, when you rearrange the furniture. For people, rearranging furniture is about freshness and novelty. For a cat, it is the destruction of its familiar world and the loss of landmarks. Cats create a three-dimensional map of their territory, including not only the floor, but also vertical routes, jumping from a chair to a table, from a sofa to a shelf, from a nightstand to a windowsill. They know every centimeter of their domain and move with their eyes closed, relying on memory and whiskers. When you move a sofa that has stood by the wall for years, remove a chair, or swap a wardrobe and a chest of drawers, you erase the cat's map. The cat arrives, preparing to jump to a familiar spot, and finds a void or a new object. This is disorienting and frightening. Familiar scents are scrambled, usual routes are destroyed, and safe hiding places have vanished. The cat is forced to relearn the house, remark it, and rebuild its map. This is stress and a cognitive load. It is especially hard for older cats with weakened vision or cognitive impairments. They rely on the memory of object placement, and rearranging can lead to injuries from colliding with furniture. Ninth, when you smell like another cat. A cat's sense of smell is 14 times stronger than a human's, and scent is the primary way of perceiving the world. When you come home with the scent of a stranger cat on your clothes, hands, or shoes, your cat feels betrayal on a chemical level. It sniffs you and picks up the foreign scent, pheromones, saliva, and dander of another cat. For it, this is proof that you interacted with a competitor, petted, hugged, and gave attention to a stranger. The reaction varies from mild anxiety to jealousy and aggression. Some cats turn away, demonstratively ignoring you. Others begin to rub intensely against you, trying to cover the foreign scent with their own to restore your belonging. Still others hiss, swat with a paw, or bite, expressing jealousy and resentment. The cat doesn't understand that you just petted a neighbor's cat or were at a friend's house with pets. It only knows that you smell of betrayal. This is especially painful for jealous cats that consider you their exclusive property. It undermines their sense of security in the relationship. 10th, when you shout or scream loudly. A cat's hearing is much more sensitive than a human's, especially to high frequencies. A loud human scream is like the sound of a siren next to a cat's ear. Painful, terrifying, and unbearable. Even if you are not shouting at the cat, but talking on the phone, arguing with someone, or watching a movie at high volume, the cat perceives this noise as a threat. Its ears flatten, pupils dilate, body shrinks, and it seeks cover. If the scream is directed at it, for a broken cup, scratches on furniture, or a puddle, it is a double trauma. The cat doesn't understand words or the cause and effect relationships between its action an hour ago and your screaming now. It only understands that you have suddenly become aggressive, dangerous, and unpredictable. Trust is destroyed instantly. The cat remembers that you are capable of outbursts of hostility and becomes wary, avoids closeness, and hides at the slightest raising of your voice. 11th, when you interrupt their hunt or play. A cat is fully focused, stalking a toy, preparing for a pounce. Its body is tense, pupils are dilated, and its tail is twitching. It is in a state of hunting trance, where instincts completely control behavior. Suddenly, you call it, pick it up, take it away, or remove the toy because it's time to eat, sleep, or go to the vet. For a cat, this is a forced interruption of a natural sequence of behavior: stalking, chasing, pouncing, capturing. The hunting drive is activated. Adrenaline is in the blood. The brain is waiting for the cycle to complete, and a sudden break causes frustration and stress. It's like interrupting a person in the middle of an orgasm, physically and emotionally uncomfortable. The cat may react with redirected aggression, biting or scratching you because it cannot discharge its hunting energy on the toy. Or it may fall into a state of confusion and irritation. 12th, when you hug the cat too tightly. A hug is a human expression of love, but for a cat, a firm squeeze of the body with arms is a predator's grip. In nature, the only time a cat feels pressure around its body is when it has been caught by a larger predator. Instinct screams, danger, fight, run. When you press a cat to your chest and wrap your arms around it, preventing it from moving, its heart rate accelerates, breathing quickens, and muscles tense. The cat goes into panic mode. It may freeze. This is not relaxation. It is a freezing response from fear when fighting is useless. Or it desperately struggles, scratches, and bites, trying to free itself from the deadly grip. For you, it is love. For the cat, it is suffocation and deprivation of freedom. This is especially traumatic for cats with a history of street life or abuse who know what it means to be caught. Even domestic cats are genetically programmed to fear the restriction of movement. Tight hugs destroy trust. The cat learns that physical closeness with you is dangerous and unpredictable. It starts to avoid contact and runs away when you reach out your hands. If you want to express love, pet, scratch, and sit nearby, but give the cat the freedom to leave at any moment. Respect for its autonomy is the basis of love. 13th, when you ignore their meowing. Adult cats meow almost exclusively to communicate with humans, not with other cats. This is a language they developed specifically for us. Every meow is an attempt at communication, a request, a question, a complaint. When a cat meows to you, it expects a response, a look, a word, or an action. When you ignore it, continuing to look at your phone, read, or watch TV, the cat feels invisible and unheard. It is trying to speak your language, and you don't answer. This is painful. The cat may increase its vocalization, meowing louder, more insistently, or turning into a cry, trying to break through the ignorance. Or it gives up, realizing that its voice doesn't matter, which leads to learned helplessness and depression. It is especially cruel to ignore a cat that is meowing from pain, fear, hunger, thirst, or basic needs. But even ignoring meowing out of boredom or a desire for attention hurts. 14th, when you punish them for natural behavior. A cat sharpens its claws on the sofa because it is an instinctive necessity to remove the dead layer of claws, stretch muscles, and mark territory visually and with scent. You scream, spray water, hit, and punish. A cat knocks objects off the table, exploring physics and hunting. You punish. A cat marks corners because it feels a territorial threat. You punish. Every time you punish a cat for an action it is biologically programmed to do, you create an unbearable conflict. A cat cannot help being a cat. Instincts are stronger than any punishment. But punishment teaches it that its nature is wrong, that being itself is dangerous. This causes chronic stress, anxiety, and neurosis. The cat tries to suppress natural impulses, which leads to impulsive disorders, excessive grooming, aggression, and marking in inappropriate places. Punishment destroys trust. The cat doesn't understand why it was punished. It only knows that you sometimes suddenly become dangerous and unpredictable. It begins to fear you, hide, and avoid contact. 15th, when you leave for a long time without explanation. For you, a business trip, a vacation, or a hospital stay are understandable reasons for absence. For a cat, this is the inexplicable disappearance of the most important being in its life, without warning and without a guarantee of return. Cats do not understand the concept of temporary absence. You left, and they don't know if you will return. For the first few days, the cat waits, sits at the door, listens for footsteps, sniffs your shoes and clothes, and sleeps on your bed, surrounding itself with your scent. Then anxiety sets in. The cat refuses food, loses weight, becomes apathetic or hyperactive, meows for hours, and searches for you throughout the house. Even if someone feeds and cares for it, it isn't you. For strongly attached cats, a long absence of the owner is an abandonment trauma. When you finally return, the cat may react in different ways. Rush to you with joy or demonstratively ignore you for several days, punishing you for the disappearance. Some cats become clingy after the owner's return, fearing a new disappearance.